Ito ang Broad Stream Cast Communicators, ang naiba at kakaibang plataporma sa digital broadcast. Mula Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao hanggang sa iba't ibang dako ng mundo. Broad Stream Cast Communicators, ang sandigan ng sambayanan mula sa walang labis at walang kulang na pagbabalita, paglilingkod, maglalahad ng mga mapagbuong komentaryo at usaping pambayan para sa kapakanan ng karamihan. Broad Stream Cast Communicators, tuwirang maglilingkod ngayon hanggang sa susunod na henerasyon. Buhay Online, Chikahan at Kaalamang Pangkabuhayan. Ating tunghayan, pakinggan at tuklasin ang mga pangyayari at kaganapan sa mundo ng online. Buhay Online, Chikahan at Kaalamang Pangkabuhayan. Alamin ang pinaka-latest trends mula sa trabaho at kung hanggang saan na ang narating ng teknolohiyang ito. At ngayon, narito na ang ating host, ang ating Techiemommy, si Jaye C. Bautista.
Hello, good morning. Maraming salamat for waking up to this new Wednesday, sunny Wednesday. Di ba, nagkaroon po tayo ng a little bit of cool weather dito sa Pampanga, or actually sa Metro Manila kasi nag-uulan po. Pero mabuti naman po yun dahil lumamig ulit yung panahon. But anyway, back to the sun today. And happy Wednesday. Magandang umaga sa inyo lahat. And welcome those people po. Welcome our friends who are here sharing this time with me. Happy Wednesday po. And of course, patuloy naman po yung magandang balita tungkol sa pagbaba ng mga infections. Of course. Pero, in connection to that, kasi di ba po yung DOH kasi they're trying to tell the president na kung pwede daw ilagay na sa level 0 ang ating bansa. Pero sabi po ng ating Pangulo, he said that alert level 1 stays until everything is really all right. And rightfully so naman, no? Kasi nga, di ba, during his taped cabinet meeting aired last night, the president said alert level 1 will remain in our country, okay? Kasi sabi niya, lahat gusto halos ibalik na sa 0 o lahat 1 o lahat ng buong bansa level 1. Hindi pwede kasi may mga lugar na meron pa. Until such time na talagang almost dalawa na lang ang mga infections all over the country, yung alert level 1 would still be a good parang buffer natin. Ito sinabi ng Pangulo. Translated, everybody wants to return to 0 or 1. That cannot be done because there are areas that still have cases. Until such time that there's only 1 or 2 cases all over the country, alert level 1 would still be a good buffer, okay? Huwag na muna tanggalin natin yan. Let's not lift that until we are very sure that everything is really all right. Itong sinabi ng ating Pangulo. On March 10, Health Secretary Francisco Duque III said the government is already looking into the possibility of downgrading to alert level 0 as COVID-19 infections in the country continue to drop. Okay? So the Department of Health recorded 2,679 new COVID-19 cases in the week of March 28 to April 3, which translates to a daily average of 382 lamang, di ba? The Department of Health recorded 2,679 new COVID-19 cases in the week of March 28 to April 3. Over 66 million individuals have been fully vaccinated, while more than 12 million have gotten the booster shot. So, gumaganda naman talaga ang situation, right? Regarding the infections in our country, right? So yun po ang dyan, magandang balita dyan. Pero, ayun nga, hindi pa ilalagay sa level 0 because, of course, the infections are still happening at saka yun nga, may parang new strains pa ng virus na lumalabas, right? Tapos pa, in connection to that, our president is ordering house-to-house COVID-19 vaccination. Ayan, house-to-house na. Kasi marapit na mag-expire yung mga gamot. So, kailangan na talaga ibigay. Kaya, dapat ano na yan, wala nang reservation eh. Bibigay na lang kagaya sa Amerika, kahit na nga sa mga butika, nagmimigay ng vaccination. President Rodrigo Duterte yesterday on Tuesday pushed for a house-to-house anti-COVID-19 vaccination program, particularly dun sa countryside, sa probinsya po, amid the expected expiration of millions of vaccine doses in the next few months. Okay? Duterte made that remark. Ano nangyari dito sa aking telepono? Hold on a second. Duterte made that remark, okay, at his weekly talk to the People's Days after Presidential Advisor for Entrepreneurship, Joey Concepcion, said that 27 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines would expire sa July, okay? Diba? So, yan po, diba? Mag-expire na sa July. Ano nangyari? Yan. Mag-expire na sa July po, kaya kailangan na siyang ipamigay or i-inject, mag-house to house na daw. Duterte made the remark at his weekly talk to the people days after Joey Concepcion said that 27 million doses of COVID vaccines are going to expire sa July. The vaccines are here and ready to be utilized just in case. A good number ng mga Filipinos remaining refused kasi may mga hindi pa, nagre-refuse pa ng vaccination up to now. Parang sa Amerika, may mga certain percentage ng population ay ayaw talaga magpabakuna. Wala na tayong magagawa doon, okay? The most we can do last minute program is we embark on a program, i-deliver natin ang vaccine sa bahay-bahay, house-to-house inoculation na yan sa mga malalayong lugar. Sa totoo lang, on grounds of humanity, at kung gusto nyo magpabakuna, ipasali ko kayo, pero wag ninyo, do not derail the program. That is what I'm trying to tell you. Yan ang sinabi po ng Presidente. Na nirerespeto naman niya na yung mga ayaw magpabakuna, pero huwag na lang naman pigilan. Ayun ang ibig niya sabihin. Ano nangyari dito sa phone ka, nag-overheat yata. Okay? But anyway, so, ayan, bumalik na. Senate Minority Leader Frank Elon criticized the government for the impending wastage of the expiring vaccine doses. More than 2 years ito na pandemic, ha? The IATF still manages to mismanage the government's response to the pandemic. It is unconsignable that the vaccines that were purchased through loans could end up in the garbage. O nga naman daw, bakit hindi lahat na pamigay? Bakit mabagal? Hindi dapat noon palang ginawa ng free for all na dapat kahit na walk-in, pwede lang bakunahan. It is criminal neglect if they let that happen. I'd like to remind the DOH and the IATF that it is Juan de la Cruz who will pay for these vaccines. O nga, inutang lang natin to, di ba? Okay? The minority chief noted that the procurement of the COVID-19 vaccines was among the reasons why the Philippines' debt stock increased from 9 trillion to 12 trillion as of February 2022. Oh my God, inutang natin to mga masasayang lang. At a 500 per dose rate, Elon said the Philippines might be wasting around 13.5 billion should the 27 million expire. Imagine 27 million worth pa ang hindi nabibigay na bakuna. Duterte on Tuesday night said the government bought vaccines commensurate to the needs of the population. Alam mo, ang bakuna nandyan para sa lahat ng Pilipino. In order natin yan. Kaya nga, ibigay nyo na. Diba? Ngayon, kung may mga Filipino na para pang hindi nagpabakuna o ayaw magpabakuna, hindi naman kasalanan ng gobyerno na magbili tayo commensurate to the number of Filipinos that would be vaccinated sana. There's no excess actually. Binili natin yan. We will try to maximize vaccines. Kung di magamit, itatapon talaga yan, sabi ng Presidente. In theoretical expiration, okay? Sinabi ni Health Secretary Francisco Duque III, he called the 25 to 27 million vaccines that will expire in July, theoretical expiration daw po. Ibig sabihin, he said the wastage rate in the country was at 1.54%, which was below the indicative wastage rate accepted by the World Health Organization. So, ang layo, we are still okay, sanabi ni Duque. Right? Duque said among the doses that would expire were those bought by the private sector and local government units, as well as donations from the COVAX facility. Ang shelf life ng bakuna is really up to 6 months only. Unlike drugs and medicines, they can last up to 3 years. Tsaka kahit na expired ang medicine, pwede mo pang gamitin yung mga tableta. Dahil humina lang ang bisa nun, hindi naman nawala. Ang kanila pong expiration, mga medicine ay 3 up to 3 years. Ang inabiso sa simula't-simula pa lang, maiksi na talaga ang kanilang shelf life ng vaccine. No? Sinabi na naman yan sa beginning which is the reason why now we have to get booster shots every so often or every 6 months, right? Till we devise or they formulate a vaccine that is good for a whole year, diba? But what has the government done? We continue to apply for the extension of the shelf life, and we have done this for Sinovac, Moderna, Sputnik, Kamalea. Maganda naman at namigyan tayo ng extension, pero ang iba, sumasailalim pa sa pagsusuri ng FDA or Food and Drug Administration para malaman yung integrity, safety, efficacy, and stability ng mga bakuna na pinapa-extend natin yung shelf life. Okay? So, ayun po, no? So, in order ng Pangulo na, ano na yan, gamitin na. Okay? Aha. Okay, so yun po sa news, okay, tungkol sa mga gera na yan na parang nahahawa na yung ibang countries, okay? Speaking of war, and let's talk about ito kasi nabasa ko ito. Of course, thank God for technology, we can learn about other countries too. Will attack with nukes if South Korea provokes us. Okay, ito na po. Sa Korea to. For the second time this week, the powerful sister of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un berated South Korea for touting its supposed preemptive strike capabilities against the North, saying her country's nuclear forces would annihilate the South's conventional forces if provoked. Ang tapang, no? North Korea to, tsaka South Korea. Alam niyo naman po, usong-uso ang Korea nowadays sa buong mundo. Korea novela, Korea everything, right? In a statement carried, tsaka yung music. In a statement carried by North Korean state media nung kahapon po, si Kim Yo-jong called South Korean Defense Minister Soo Wook's recent comments about preemptive strikes a fantastic daydream and the hysteria of a lunatic. Ala? Sige, pakita natin siya. Let me just show you her face. Ano, wala. Sino ba yun? Sandali ha? Pakita natin yung picture ng sister. Wait a minute. Ano ba yan? Okay, hold on. Nasa na yun? Yung picture ng sister ng North Korean. Let me see. Hold on. Anyway, so as I was saying, ayun ang sinabi, ano ba yun? In a statement carried by the North Korean state media no Tuesday, si Korea, tinawag niyang lunatic si Korean Defense Minister Soo Wook. She stressed that, okay, itong si Kim Jong-un po, okay, ng North Korea. Sister siya ng Korean leader, okay, na si Kim Jong-un. She stressed that North Korea doesn't want another war on the Korean Peninsula, okay, but warned it would retaliate with its nuclear forces. Ayan po ang ano talaga, Korea, nuclear weapons, di ba? Ayun din-develop nila. Lagi nga nagtetest eh. It would retaliate if the nuclear forces, if the South opts for preemptive strikes or other attacks, which would leave the South militaries little short of total destruction and ruin. Okay? North Korea has repeatedly said it would preemptively use its nuclear weapons when threatened by rivals as it's accelerated its development of nuclear bombs and missiles. Yan talaga. Oh, Yaya, ano ba naman? Silence on the set, okay? In another statement directed towards Soo on Sunday, si Yo-jong called him a scum-like guy and warned that the South might face a serious threat because of his comments. Her statements come amid tensions over North Korea's accelerating weapon tests this year, including its first test of an intercontinental ballistic missile. Nakakatakot talagang kalaway itong Korea, di ba? Panay nuclear weapons. Itong mga ballistic missile na to since 2017 pa on March 24 as her brother revives nuclear brinkmanship aimed at pressuring Washington to accept the North as nuclear power and remove crippling sanctions. They also come ahead of the 110th anniversary of the birth of North Korean founder Kim Il-sung, her grandfather. Ang tapang. Typically, Pyongyang likes to mark key domestic anniversaries with military parades, major weapon tests. Ay, di ba ang ganda ng kanilang celebration? Yung sinetest yung nuclear bomb, tsaka satellite launches, okay? Major weapon tests at tsaka satellite launches. Responding to Yojong's statements, President-elect Yoon Suk-yeol's transition team said on Tuesday it was not ruling out a preemptive strike as a possible military option if necessary, a position earlier supported by Yoon himself during his campaign. Preemptive strikes are one of the actions that are accepted globally, including at the UN as a viable option when a preemptive threat persists. Sabi ng spokesman niya na si Kim Yoon-hye sa mga reporters, okay? Some experts say the North may up the ante in the coming months, possibly test flying missiles over Japan. Ayan na naman. Palagi si Japan ang natatamaan ng kanilang mga testing eh. Diba? So, test flying missiles over Japan or resuming nuclear explosive tests as it tries to get a response from the Biden administration. Yan. Inuudyok na yung presidente ng Amerika, which is distracted by Russia's invasion of Ukraine and an intensifying rivalry with China. The renewed tensions have been a major setback for outgoing South Korean President Moon Jae-in, a dovish liberal who had staked his presidential term on his ambitions for inter-Korean rapprochement. During a visit to the country's strategic missile command last week, Su said Seoul had the ability and readiness to launch precision strikes on North Korea if it detects Pyongyang intends to fire missiles at South Korea. Seoul has long maintained such a preemptive attack strategy to cope with North Korea's missile and nuclear threats, but it was highly unusual for a Moon administration official to possibly discuss it. In case South Korea opts for a military confrontation with North Korea, our nuclear combat force will have to inevitably carry out its duty. Gaganti sila siyempre. A dreadful attack will be launched and the South Korean army will have to face a miserable fate little short of total destruction and ruin. Ayan naman ang banta ng North Korea. Yo Jong said in her latest statement. Seoul issued on Sunday a low-key response to her earlier comments, urging Pyongyang to refrain from further raising tensions and return to dialogue. Okay? Huwag na yan na ba? Tama na naman to sa panahon na to, gera-gera pa, right? Stop it. Okay? So, hindi yan dapat mangyari. Okay? Tigilan na yun. Okay? So, now let's go back to local news. Okay? Let's see what's happening here. Okay, yung COVID cases na natin yan. Hold on, please. Okay, so yun na nga, pinapadrive na, with millions of COVID-19 vaccines about to expire, yun, ipatupad yung house-to-house na vaccination drive, okay? President Duterte said he was considering to implement a house-to-house vaccination drive if only to convince more Filipinos to get themselves vaccinated or boosted. Kasi nga, alam natin na bumaba rin ang mga hospitalization dahil most of the people are vaccinated. Kasi nga, yung mga nasa hospital ngayon, yung iba yung mga Delta virus patients pa, at saka yung iba, like sinabi ko kahapon, 16.7% as opposed to 6.2%, more na po yung mga na-hospital ngayon na hindi dahil sa COVID-19. Yung mga regular sakit na po. Kasi nga po, bumaba na yung infection rate at the same time yung seriousness ng effect ay medyo nag-die down na rin. Okay? So, more important than now is to stress na importante na mabakunahan lahat ng tao, right? So Duterte also thanked the Chinese government for its help in funding the Binondo and Chamorros Bridge project, which created another link between the two banks of Pasig River. Talagang love na love ni Presidente yung mga Chinese eh. An economic expert also warned that the price of bread will be next to increase in the wake of skyrocketing prices of petroleum products. Yan na nga, tinapay, tumaas na nga eh, okay? And the state weather agency said the rainy weather will persist across most of the country due to a low pressure area detected northeast of Davao along with the shear line, okay? Okay? So yan po, no? So asahan po natin po ang pag-ulan itong mga araw na ito, right? Because merong low pressure areas na na-detect sa Davao, okay? Okay. So, let's talk about technology in the sense of social media, all right? Ang Twitter set button for tweets, okay? Magandang balita yan. Kasi minsan, di ba, gusto mong i-edit yung na-tweet mo na. Alright? Okay? Ayan. Twitter says working on edit button for tweets. Tweet siyang sabi ko na. It's okay. Alright. Twitter Incorporated said on Tuesday, yesterday, it had been working on an edit button since last year, okay? And will test the feature with select Twitter Blue members in coming months, okay? Twitter said in a tweet that it did not get the idea for the button from a poll that its largest shareholder Elon Musk started asking users of the social networking platform if they wanted the feature. Ito naman si Elon Musk. Mamaya meron akong connecting news about Elon Musk and Twitter, okay? Nag-tweet nga si Elon Musk. Sabi niya, not everyone is asking. Yes, we've been working on an edit feature since last year, okay? On Monday, Elon Musk disclosed, ito na pala eh, nung Monday po, in-announce ni Elon Musk, the Tesla guy, okay, that he bought a 9.2% stake in Twitter, so owner na rin siya ng Twitter, and started the poll on the long-awaited feature the company has been working on, okay? Twitter Chief Executive Parag Agrawal also urged users to vote carefully. On April 1, Twitter said it was working on an edit button during laughter and tears at the message on April Fool's Day. Twitter Blue members get exclusive access to premium features and app customizations for a monthly subscription. Okay? Well, but to announce, of course, yun na nga, si top shareholder ngayon ng Twitter ay si Elon Musk. Si Elon Musk, okay? Twitter said yesterday it would name top shareholder and Tesla boss Elon Musk to its board, a day after the billionaire disclosed a significant stake in the social media company. Yep. Owner na rin si Elon Musk ng Twitter. Okay? He bought a 9.2% stake in Twitter. Alright? Okay. Ano bang gusto niyo? So, hindi nakakakilala kay Elon Musk. Sige. Pakita ko sa inyo ang kanyang face. Alright? Hold on. Ano ba nangyari ito sa aking computer? Yan, sira na naman. Hold on. Well, I know you know Elon. Kilala niyo naman si Elon Musk, you know. Most everyone knows that guy. But, okay. As I was saying, saan napunta yung picture ni Elon Musk? Kasi gustong makakita. Sandali, naglalag. Okay, here, I'm gonna show him. Alright, let's show him. This is the Tesla dude, the Tesla billion, trillion, whatever near. Okay. Sige, pakita natin siya. Here you go. Here he is. This is the founder of Tesla, Elon Musk. Siya po ang nagpaparent ng mga spaceship, okay? Well, he just bought a 9.2% stake to Twitter. Diba? Lahat sinasabi yan. Kakandidato kaya to at one point. Okay, let me just get his picture to put beside this news. Hello there, Miss Angelica. Thank you. Happy Wednesday. Welcome po. Oh, there. Okay, there he is. O yan. O. Ayan si Elon Musk. Okay? So, binabalita natin. Alright? So, as I was saying, alright, computer ko. Tesla Incorporated boss Elon Musk on Monday disclosed a 9.2 billion stake in Twitter. Okay? He bought po 9.2 billion share. Alright? Musk, who calls himself, okay, innovator to talaga eh. Okay? Twitter said nga, announced kahapon, that si Tesla boss Elon Musk will be part of their board. The appointment may temporarily block chances of an immediate takeover bid from Musk. Just ko, 9.2% na binili niya, pero sigurado meron siyang vested interest. Okay, because this is temporarily blocking his immediate takeover bid, something that analysts and investors had speculated after he reported a 9.2% stake worth about $3 billion. Okay? Musk cannot own more than 14.9% of Twitter's common stock, either as an individual shareholder or as a member of a group, as long as he is the director of Twitter. The company said in a filing. So, yun nga, gagawin nilang board member si Elon Musk para wag siyang mag-take over at bumili ng mas marami pang share. Kasi nga, as a board member, you can only own not more than 14.9%. Ngayon, meron na siyang 9.2 eh. Ilan na lang, max out na siya. I'm excited to share that we're appointing Elon Musk to our board, Agrawal said in a tweet. He's both a passionate believer and intense critic of the service, which is exactly what we need on Twitter, and in the boardroom to make us stronger in the long term. Mahalata mo kasi itong era nitong si Elon Musk. Nostalgic siya sa Twitter dahil ng panahon niya na sumikat din. Itong era na to, kaya ang binili niyang share sa Twitter, right? Although ang Twitter hindi na kasing lakas before compared to Instagram and YouTube, of course, okay, and even Facebook pa rin, right? In response, Musk tweeted, looking forward to working with Parag and Twitter board to make significant improvements to Twitter in the coming months. Musk, who calls himself a free speech absolutist, has been critical of the social media platform and its policies, okay, and recently ran a Twitter poll asking users if they believe the platform adheres to the principle of free speech, okay? After disclosing his stake on Monday, Musk put out another poll on Twitter asking users if they want an edit button, a long-awaited feature, ito nga, pinag-usapan natin ngayon, on which the social media platform has been working. You can never understate Elon Musk, okay? I wonder what the underlying motives are, said Gerald Goldberg, CEO of GYL Finance Synergies, a registered investment advisor whose clients own both Twitter and Tesla shares. Okay? All right. I think he's sending a message to the sect that says, I'm going to do what I want to do, or I'm going to own the world. Kaya, diba? Owning the universe na nga rin siya sa mga spaceship endeavors. Diba? Hindi lang world. Earth, ang nag-uusapan dito no? Twitter shares surged 6% in trading before the opening bell after closing up over 27% on Monday. Musk, a prolific user of Twitter, has made a number of announcements to his over 80 million followers on the social media platform. Oh my gosh. Including his intention to take Tesla private, which landed him in trouble with the U.S. Security and Exchange Commission. On Monday, Musk disclosed his ownership of 73.5 million Twitter shares, which are held by the Elon Musk Revocable Trust, of which he is the sole trustee. Oh my God. Musk will participate in the director benefits arrangements applicable to non-employee directors and serve as a Class 2 director with the term expiring at Twitter's 2024 annual meeting of stockholders. Itong sinabi ng company. The world's richest man will also be a board member of UFC owner Endeavor until June 30, but has exited the board of tech nonprofit Opera AI, which he co-founded in 2018. Diyan siya sumikat din sa paggawa ng nonprofit na Open AI. Diba? World's richest man, Elon Musk. So now he's trying to, ang weird din ng mga experiments kasi tinatry niyang, scary, to experiment or find out if we can extend the life of people. Scary. He is also the founder and CEO of SpaceX and leads brain chip startup Neuralink and infrastructure firm The Boring Company. In connection to Elon Musk, okay? at kung anong take niya doon sa gera ng Ukraine. Sinabi na isang headline before that si Elon Musk daw, challenge niya si Putin to a fight. O laban daw sila tapos ang price to Ukraine, di ba? Nakisali naman to sa nakisawsaw. Si Elon Musk masyadong sobrang gusto maging sikat. Hello there, Tita Bless. Good morning. I don't know what it's good evening to you in Canada. Are you? Hello there, Tita Bless Sargan. I worked with her many moons ago. But I thank her for her always being supportive of my posts and my rants and musings. And now here in the show, she's here. Thank you very much, Tita Bless. Okay, so ayun nga, connection to that, nung araw, some last month, itong si Elon Musk po, challenges Putin to a fight with Ukraine as the prize, okay? Naalala ko lang kasi. He challenged Russian President Vladimir Putin to a fight with nothing less than the fate of Ukraine, seen of Moscow's brutal invasion at stake. Yan ang ginawa niyang premyo. The eccentric billionaire and founder of aerospace company SpaceX took to Twitter, where his messages are notoriously erratic, to see whether the Russian leader would test his mettle in person rather than through his country's forces. I hereby challenge Vladimir Putin to single combat. Stakes are Ukraine. Yabang din, no? So, yun ang ibig niyang sinabi noon. Suntukan daw sila. Do you accept this fight? He added in Russian, directly addressing the official English language Twitter account of the 69-year-old president. When one of Musk's 77 million followers wrote that the Tesla founder might not have thought his challenge through, Musk said he was absolutely serious. If Putin could so easily humiliate the West, then he would accept the challenge, but he will not. There will be no remedy. So walang nag-reaction po dyan, pero naalala ko lang kasi kaya ko kinwento dahil si Elon Musk masyadong controversial din. Gusto maging, okay? Alright. So, on that note, okay, let's talk about something else, alright? Let's talk about something lifestyle naman to help. No? Okay. Pero, okay. Una, of course, yung development sa technology, sa pagpuksa nitong COVID-19. The DOH reports new record low again for a day, okay? Diba? 300 plus kahapon, 382, with 225 new COVID-19 cases, right? Ang gandang balita. Ito muna, ayusin ko lang itong, tapos na itong sila. Tatabi ko lang itong Twitter. Okay. Ay, mali. Natuloy ko yung picture ng pamilya ko. Ano ba yan? Alright. Balik kayo dyan. Okay. So, itong si Elon Musk, tanggalin na natin. Hindi na kailangan dyan. Alright? So, as I was saying, okay, the DOH reports a new record low of only 225 new infections po. Okay, kahapon. Reported 225 new COVID-19 infections, lowest po, the lowest we've ever had this year, adding the nationwide caseload to 3,679,983. Excuse me. Ito pong, the previous lowest daily COVID-19 tally reported was 246. On last Tuesday, excuse me. On a Tuesday no March 29. Pasensya na po. Kate. Based on the DOH latest data on its website, the country's active case count stood at 33,629. Among the top regions with cases, in the recent 2 weeks, were the National Capital Region with 1,514 pa rin, followed by Region 4A with 569, and Region 6 with 394. Yung DOH po recorded 3,586,984,000 patients recovered from the viral disease, while the fatalities rose to 59,370. Tumaas yung death rate, pero mas maraming gumaling, okay? The Health Department said the bed occupancy in the country is now at 16.9%, with 5,592 beds occupied, while 27,579 are vacant. Okay? The DOH also logged 19,416 individuals tested, while 311 testing labs submitted as of April 4. Excuse me. Ano ba yan? I am choking. Hold on. Pardon me po. Ang kate ng throat. Okay? So, talking about lifestyle po, no? We wanted to, nakabukas yung pinto. Oh my goodness. So, ano po ang, ay nako. Tungkol naman po sa inflation, alright, dito sa ating bansa. Inflation quickens hitting 4% in March, okay? Consumer prices quickened at a much faster pace ng March. Talaga naman kahit agad-agad po, pag-announce po ng talaga niyan at pag-skyrocket ng gas, tinaas din kaagad ang mga presyo ng bilihin, right? The Philippine Statistics Authority or ang PSA reported kahapon po, Tuesday, April 5, that headline inflation clocked in at 4% last month, jumping from 3% in February, but marginally slower compared with 4.1% in March of 2021. The March number was in line with the median analyst forecast of 4.0% and within the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas forecast range of 3.3% to 4.1%. The latest inflation rate brought the country's first quarter average of 3.4%, still within the government's target band of 2.0% to 4%. Higher inflation rates for both food and non-food commodity groups resulted in a faster inflation for March. Food inflation increased to 2.8%. Yan po ang nagtaas din kaagad mga bilihin, mga pagkain, mga gulay, mga napakamahal. It was up from 1.1% in February. Notably, corn inflation remained high at 31.3% in March as global conflicts further constrained world corn supply. Ang mais po, nagmahal. Increases in the inflation rates for flour, bread, meat, fish, vegetables, and sugar also contributed, to the faster food inflation. Meanwhile, non-food inflation increased to 5.0% from 4.1% in the previous month, mostly due to elevated oil prices. Kasi nga yung transport inflation likewise increased by double digits or 10.3% from 8.8%. In a statement, Socioeconomic Planning Secretary Carl Kendrick Chua said the government has taken steps to address the inflationary pressures, particularly on fuel brought about by the Russia-Ukraine conflict. We have been proactively monitoring the impact of the Russia-Ukraine conflict as early as March 7. The Economic Development Cluster, EDC, has already proposed interventions to manage the impact on the economy and the people, tsaka yung mga presyo po. The EDC's policy interventions to manage supply and prices of key commodities include the expansion of supply and reducing prices of pork. Kasi po talaga ang pork, di ba, pumantay na sa beef. Nung ka naging ganyan, Diyos ko, na 400 plus din ang pork. Wala na talaga, hindi man 200, 400 plus na. 430 kunyari ang pork, 480 ang beef, or 450. And masyadong maliit na diferensya na, right? So, okay, the EDC's policy interventions to manage supply and prices of key commodities, including the expansion of supply and reducing prices of pork by extending the lower tariff and acceleration of the release of imported pork from cold storages. So, pati imported pork na. EDC also passed the proposed livestock development and competitiveness law and pursued the livestock value chain reform to address rising corn and feeds prices. Okay? Ano pa? Yung government also accelerated the release of sanitary and phytosanitary import clearance from the National Meat Inspection Service cold storage warehouses para i-push naman po ang chicken inventory tsaka niremove na yung mga tarifa. Additionally, more than 158,000 corn farmers and fisher folks registered under the registry system for basic sectors in agriculture are also set to receive 3,000 as fuel subsidy. So bibigyan po ng 3,000 yung mga farmer tsaka fishermen para paggamit po, pagdagdag ba ng panggasolina nila sa kanilang mga machine at mga bangka ay mga boat. She was added that to cushion the impact of rising prices, the government will distribute unconditional cash transfers worth 500 per month to the poorest 50% of households. Narinig mo yan, Yaya? Bibigyan ng 500 pesos na unconditional transfer sa lahat ng Pilipino buwan-buwan dahil sa pagtaas ng presyo. Sana. Kaya nga. Sana all. Kasi mga fisherman daw po at saka mga farmer binigyan ng 3,000 para tulong sa pagtaas ng gasolina. Hala, si Yaya ko ay walang tiwala, walang belief. Okay? Tapos pa daw, 115,000 public utility vehicle drivers at mga operators have received 6,500 each under the Pantawid Pasada program. Ang mga utility vehicle drivers dinigyan ng 6,500 na ayuda. The government stands ready to support consumers, commuters, public transport drivers and operators, and agricultural producers to ease the impact of high oil and commodity prices. As COVID-19, nga naman kasi yung utility vehicle, syempre, ang trabaho nila talaga gamit gasolina. So, dapat nabigyan sila medyo malaki-laking ayuda. As COVID-19 cases subside, we also aim to move the entire country to alert level 1 to provide more opportunities for Filipinos to earn and provide for their families. Okay. Okay, nandyan na nga tayo. Alright? Okay? Now, going back naman to issues about lifestyle issues naman. Kanina ko pa pinag-usapan yung mga nuclear na yan eh. Kasi yung US, UK, tsaka Australia to cooperate, they agreed to cooperate on hypersonic weapons. Okay? Kasi di ba kanina minention ko itong si North Korea nag-threaten ng mag-retaliate sa South Korea sa kanilang preemptive testings. Well, the United States, Britain, and Australia said yesterday they will begin jointly collaborating on hypersonic weapons and electronic warfare capabilities. Okay? As part of their new Australia, United Kingdom, and US alliance aimed at countering China, panglaban against China. The three countries said, imagine tatlo kayo kampi-kampi against China. Pinapakita nyo lang na takot nga talaga tayo sa China, no? Na maging world power. Kasi yan na sila, United States, Great Britain, and Australia. Nagsanib pwersa, nag-joint forces. Okay? The three countries said the joint initiatives will bolster existing efforts to deepen cooperation in numerous areas that they already agreed when forming the new defensive pact last September. Okay? All right? We committed today to commence a new trilateral cooperation on hypersonics and counter-hypersonics and electronic warfare warfare capabilities, as well as to expand information sharing and to deepen cooperation and defense innovation. Itong sinabi nilang lahat sa isang joint statement. These initiatives, okay, all right, will add to our existing efforts to deepen cooperation on cyber capabilities, artificial intelligence, quantum technologies, and additional undersea capabilities, okay? As our work progresses on these and other critical defense and security capabilities, we will seek opportunities to engage allies and close partners. So Russia, China, the United States, and North Korea have all test-launched hypersonic missiles, okay? With Tuesday's announcement coming just weeks after Moscow said it had launched them for the first time in its war in Ukraine. Tamo, ginamit na po ng Moscow yung kanyang nuclear weapon. No? Well, ngayon, ito na nga ulit, nagsanib puwersa ang United Kingdom, USA, tsaka ang Korea against China. No? Amoy na naman, usok? Anyway. So, yun nga. So, hindi pala Korea, sorry. United States, Britain, and Australia po are going to cooperate and collaborate regarding these hypersonic missiles, okay? While ballistic missiles fly high into space and are to reach their target, a hypersonic weapon po flies on a trajectory low in the atmosphere. Potentially, ay, nakakatakot naman to. Mas mababa itong lipad nitong hypersonic weapons, reaching the target more quickly. Crucially, a hypersonic missile is maneuverable, like the much slower, often subsonic cruise missile, making it much harder to track and defend. Oh my God. Russia is seen as the most advanced nation sa nuclear weapons, while China, is also aggressively developing the technology, according to the U.S. Congressional Research Service. France, Germany, Australia, India, and Japan have been working on hypersonics too. Iran, Israel, and South Korea have conducted basic research on the technology. The US, Britain, and Australia launched their landmark security pact last September alongside Canberra scraping a multi-billion-dollar submarine deal with France that made Paris angry, okay? The pact, known as the AUKUS, was proclaimed at the time as allowing the three allies to share advanced technologies. Siyempre, hindi tayo mention doon dahil wala tayong ganyan. Walang nuclear technology ang Pilipinas, right? Okay, so on my last salvo po, okay, tungkol sa lifestyle. Okay, itong interesting note, okay? I want to show people a financial checklist. So bago po meron po kasi nagtanong ng question na to tungkol sa mga marriage and all those things. Ano kasi mga, what do you call this, prenup agreements. I want to say share a financial checklist before you get married, okay? Or applicable to those pati rin sa mga nag-asawa na, okay? There's a financial checklist that people should follow before saying I do or before getting married. Checklist, okay, marriage is one of is a huge life project. Aminin na natin, okay? The late Taipan, si John Gokongwei Jr. po, was quoted as saying, the most important decision you're going to make in your life is whom you will marry, okay? And to make your marriage really work, one of the important aspects but not always discussed is your shared money value. Diba? Kaya nga, nauso yung prenup na yan eh. Today's topic, okay? I'll talk about 10 items that you should be in your financial checklist before you get married. These items are still applicable to already married couples in case you didn't discuss well enough because you were caught up in the 1,001 items you had to do para i-prepare yung kasal nyo. Ang unang-una na po, discuss your CMM or childhood money memories. Why? Because our money triggers are usually deep-seated. So childhood experiences natin about money. When you understand each other's childhood money memories or paano kayo lumaki or kung paano ang buhay and the effect this had in your current relationship with your money, your differences in money values and behavior can be addressed more healthily. So pag-usapan niyo kung paano kayo, di ba, if you grew up comfortable or kung paano kayo nagsikap or yung magulang nyo, napagkwentuhan nyo yan, magandang bagay po yung i-discuss ng mga mag-aasawa, right? Avoid being contempt in the future with money challenges arise. Example, one yung mga, one who is so irritated by the spouse's rich relatives, di ba? Kasi nga, for example, yung childhood nyo, meron kayong mga kamag-anak or kapamilya na ganyan, nag-lose kayo ng pera or nagkaroon ng bad experience sa money or lost in business. Kasi nagkakaroon po yan minsan ng effect sa how a person sees money making, okay? Or bad experience about money na nangyari, nawalan ng pera, those things po, maganda rin pag-usapan. Okay? Of course, some couples occasionally do not want to talk about money, but it's a concern. It's because may mga tao na ayaw pag-usapan ng pera kasi yung mga magulang nila nag-aaway tungkol sa pera ng araw. Kaya naging trauma. But it's actually a consideration talaga. Okay? Number 2, take the FQ test. Ano yun? It is very important to know where each partner is at when it comes to knowledge and behavior about money. There are 3 ways to take the FQ test, okay? Online test, and the good news is now comes in English and Tagalog. Old school style printed test by using the FQ book, okay? All right? Yung FQ test, para ano yan, test to see if you know how to manage your finances, okay? Okay? Number 3, set your goals individually and as a couple. The goal setting activity will serve you well when you go into the details of your money management as a couple. Talaga, I think it's important talaga yan eh. It is because money is your important role, a tool in achieving your goals and dreams. Share your individual goals and try to come up with one that will be the start of your new family goal setting. When do you plan? Do you have intentions to buy a house? Diba? Buy travel, what kind of lifestyle you want to lead, diba? If you want, okay. So goal setting is important. Talaga naman eh. Bago nag-aasawa o mag-aano ng pamilya, dapat naisip yan yung goal setting. Ano ang kailangan gawin? Mag-negosyo ba kayo, right? Or kung nagtatrabaho pa kayo, kung patuloy pang magtatrabaho or magne-negosyo na lang, anong gagawin nyo para sa future. Dapat importante po yung goal setting sa mag-aasawa eh. Para ano, di ba? Tapos prepare simple individual balance sheets and income statements. After you set your goals, prepare this important financial statement that will show your starting point. Ako po, ganun, may listahan ng mga gastos ko, mga listahan ng mga babayaran. Dapat nakaplano yan all the time, every month. Para alam nyo, kasi napupunta yung pera, no? It is impossible to reach your goals if you don't have any plan, di ba? Tapos ito yung prenup. Ito ang mga taboo topic for most Filipino families to talk about. It's probably the most unromantic thing to talk about when one is getting married. But hey, a great marriage cannot survive only on romance. Totoo naman. Kung may romance man lang, right? It has to take everything, both the lovable and the unlovable parts. The beautiful and the ugly aspects dapat tanggapin, okay? After seeing each other's assets and liabilities and your respective balance sheets, you are now better equipped to decide whether your marriage will be more successful under the standard provisions for property ownership. Kunyari, kung meron kayong mga pag-aari, dapat i-discuss nyo rin yun, how much each person makes, kung ano yung trabaho, kung ano yung kinikita nyo, kailangan i-discuss yun para malaman kung paano nyo gagawin ang inyong daily pamumuhay, yung overhead expenses nyo sa araw-araw, kung wala pa kayong bahay, kung nagre-rent kayo, dapat nakalista lahat yon, right? Tapos, kung may sinusuporta yung isa sa inyo, like me and my fiancé, we both have children from previous relationships. This can be unwritten part of the balance sheet, diba? Lagay yan dyan. Is anyone supporting anyone? Or may mga magulang kayo or kamag-anak na tinutulungan? It's also best to discuss this with your partner, diba? Kasi, remember, for you to function well as a single unit of society, yes, that's the definition of a family, you will have to be clear on financial commitments because you will not now be having your own set of financial needs as a family. Diba? Ano pa yung tax issues? You may also include figuring out if you are better off filing your income taxes separately or together as a couple. Tapos mga joint accounts, separate accounts, or combination, figure out how you want to handle your cash flow. Gusto niyo ba mag-joint account or combination or tigi-tigi sa kayong bank account? Okay? Discuss nyo yan. A combination might be the best option. So tingin ko rin dapat. I think dapat merong shared account yung mag-aasawa at meron din pa rin silang sariling account nila. I believe that, no? No matter what your choice will be, it is still better to know about the existence of all the accounts, even if you don't handle them. This ensures that if one goes away, the surviving spouse is not left clueless, di ba? Hindi siya mag-wonder kung anong gagawin, right? Alright, so yeah. Okay, who's going to do what? Decide who will take care of monthly budgeting, saving, investing, and other matters related to money. Assign it accordingly to the partner's expertise and fondness. Since money may bring stressful events once you're married, it is best to assign the different functions of money management to the suitable partners. Kunyari, i-allot nyo na yung budget. Kunyari, sa pamamalengke, iba yung budget naman sa pagbayad ng bills. I-assign nyo na kung sino-sino ang mag-monitor niyan or magtatali. Again, this is prone to a disastrous outcome, not just in the event of death of the partner, solely in charge of the money, but also in the day-to-day handling of family money. Isn't it so much easier to achieve your financial goals kung pareho kayong nag-aasikaso, right? Have a clear budget for your wedding and honeymoon, and then respect it. Dapat mag-save kayo, o maghanda kayo ng amount lang talaga na enough, okay? Because of the financial pressures of the pandemic, di ba? Dapat talaga meager na lang yung preparation. No wonder many are delaying their weddings, di ba? Because I know all these wedding gimmicks labeled as must-haves are so exciting, but always remember that this is just one day, no matter how important it is. Don't go overboard para i-regret mo. Okay? So spend your wedding within your means. Talaga, doon sa kaya nyo lang, di ba? Huwag na yung mga bonggang-bongga, especially sa pandemic na ito, okay? You can still have your other weddings in the future, but then this time, make it a safe and cost-efficient wedding, all right? Okay? So, on that note, I'd like to end this today's episode po on a Wednesday. Maraming salamat for those who joined us today, and thank you very much. At the end of the day po, of course, 3 things should remain in our lives, and that is faith, hope, and love. Malagi po, manatili yan sa ating mga puso. Okay, thank you very much. Maraming salamat for joining me. See you tomorrow. Thank you!
Inyong natunghayan at napakinggan ang mga makabagong pamamaraan sa mundo ng online sa pamamagitan pa rin ng Broad Stream Cast Communicators. Hanggang sa muli,